People, Deluded, I'm back again. I'm sure all of you are bored about hearing Arteta, hearing me speak about Arteta. I assure you I'm definitely tired of making vids in relation to Arteta. Didn't want to make a video speaking the man's name or uttering the words or the names Mikel Arteta until something's been officially confirmed, at least in relation to him becoming manager. But I always tell you a lot about footballers and their conscience and being able to look yourself in the mirror. Like I said, I don't want to do this with people, but at the same time, my conscience was telling me, DG, you know right from wrong. You know you want to do it, so you believe you should, so yeah, do it. So yeah, man, I couldn't say no. So for what I hope can be the final time, at least until some significant progress or something changes beyond what we know, we might as well go over some things that have been said in relation to Mikel Arteta. Now, if you're currently watching the Oxford City game, City are doing quite well against them, and Arteta is there. And I just watched pre-game purely because that's the only bits that I'm going to see of Arteta being of relevance. I'll watch the highlights of the game and whatnot when I get the chance, but I just wanted to, obviously can't see where his mind's at, but just see. And I think he was still assisting in the warm-up, still doing what he needs to do. Of course, going around, and this is all happening while the uncertainty over his position in relation to staying at City and coming to Arsenal is going on now. Testament to Arteta. He's in Oxford. He could have said, I don't want to do this. Can I step away and finish this? He's still contracted to City and he wants to fulfill his obligation. Now, obviously, things can still get done, and I'll be surprised if there's not texts on his phone when he gets the chance he doesn't reply to, if things are true, people. But in relation to what I've been able to find, apparently, like I said, I haven't actually said, there's talk of an announcement being made tomorrow or Friday. So tomorrow's Thursday, I'm making this on Wednesday evening, for those of you who don't have common sense. He's expected to sign a deal until 2020. Obviously, we previously know Arsenal's hierarchy and Josh Kroenke have signed off on this, signing a 3-year deal. And like I said, he'll be unveiled at the earliest Thursday, at the latest Friday. You'd think that's way too... I don't know if it'll be too early for him to officially lead the team, ironically, against another one of his former teams in Everton. And obviously, under what looks like Carlo Ancelotti, someone who was linked with the Arsenal role. A lot of Arsenal people and fans would have really liked Ancelotti to come. You've seen reports, whether they're true or not, that Ancelotti's first choice was Arsenal. At the end of the day, he's getting 11.5 million, I believe, a year deal, what I saw in the report at Everton. So good luck to him. And obviously, I'm not saying Moise Kean is going to play well necessarily, but I mean, your fellow countrymen in Ancelotti might understand you, might give you opportunities. Either way, we're going off topic. I do believe whether Arteta gets announced this week or not, naturally, surely Ljungberg will lead the team at Goodison Park. I don't know if Arteta wants to, but I'd imagine beyond getting to know the team and whatnot, it'd be too early for him to lead the team and really and whatnot. He could have a training session and whatnot for Saturday if that's what they want to do, but something just tells me they'll leave it to Ljungberg. First, well, he'd be in attendance at Goodison on Saturday, but the real work starts on Sunday, Monday next week. You get, obviously it's the festive period, but you get the point. Now, 3.5-year deal. Apparently, it's just a case of his lawyers are processing the paperwork, and like I said, it's a near done deal, and we're trying to get it in place for that game. So yeah, apparently yesterday he spent the afternoon thrashing out the deal, and he's apparently, while talking with the team, the team being the board, it's understood he laid out plans on how he sees the future of the club and what direction he wants to take them in. Obviously, I said yesterday in one of my videos that on the sad side, people, is that while it's positive that the club want to offload a number of players that just aren't cutting it, players like Mesut Ozil that are on big finances and whatnot, he's been given limited funds to spend in January. Now, even if we did have funds to spend, I doubt we're going to do big moves in January. For me, we need a centre-half. Arteta's no idiot. He knew, like Emre, they know the role they're stepping into. Don't get me wrong. The board need to pull out the stops and really support someone, but they know the role they're walking into. We have money to spend, but we're not going to do several things that other clubs are doing. So coaching is a big part of this, really. And I applaud Arteta really, because he is an inexperienced manager. He could have stayed at City and eventually took over from Pep, where the conditions for a first-time manager, probably, to put it nicely, more ideal. Arsenal is chaotic, to put it nicely. And to join that, and with his reputation so far on the line, I think it's going to be a good experience for him, because if it goes right, it goes right. Either way, he's going to learn some harsh lessons and he's going to learn some good lessons, which are going to make him into a better manager, whether his long-term future is here or what is the dynamic of managers now. And the dynamic, he's here in the ideal world. He gets us playing and he's here for 3-4 years plus. And eventually, you'd imagine, I don't know, he might have the desire to, for all we know, I doubt it, but manage a former club in Everton, go back to City, I don't know, go PSG. He's a Spaniard, so if Barcelona or Madrid come, if he did become that level, could you say no? Very few people could. But right now, he needs to stamp his philosophy and all of these sort of things. And really, if I scroll up, I was going to do it in a separate vid, but I kind of set out what I want to see from Arteta. Like I said, it's about the board, the players, and Arteta and whatnot, all moving in this like a synchronized direction. But in relation to Arteta and Arteta specifically, what I believe he can do and I believe falls on his feet, first and foremost, he needs to weed out the weak personalities. What I mean by weak personalities, I mean exactly that. I mean people who are not down for the cause. I mean people who are just not tough enough for this. Do you get it? And that doesn't mean being a bruiser, flying into tackles. That means training, applying yourself, away games, being on this. Anyone who has even the slightest concern, that we have the slightest concern over, that's not down for the cause, get them out. Weed out the bad apples, the bad eggs and things like that. Because you're seeing reports, apparently there's pessimism, if that's even a word, sounded like a cool word, in relation to bringing Arteta to the club by some of these players. And I think that's damn right cheeky considering the way they're playing. I'd also say a clear philosophy. Like, I want him to ironically do what Emre done to a degree, but a lesser extreme, in the sense of, and he will, the sporadic games against the top six or certain other circumstances. I don't mind a three at the back, them sort of things there. Or even though Aubameyang should play up front, there might be a game where he might just have to do something for us on the flanks. Do you get it? I'm on them sort of things. I really like that sort of thing on a sporadic basis. But fundamentally, we need one clear way of playing. Obviously, with Arsenal, we want to play attacking football, forward-thinking football, Wenger ball of recent years, to put it nicely. Them sort of things there. So I'd like to see a clear philosophy from him, because I believe Arsenal lacked an identity in Wenger's final years, and in terms of an identity, arguably it got worse under Emery, because he said chameleon team, and that's very much what it looked like, because you have a hard time pinpointing what the team was about. So just a clear philosophy, a clear way of doing things, and I do believe him being Spanish, playing under Pep, managing with Pep, playing under Wenger, he's took a bit of everybody and he's done his thing. I'm not saying he's going to be a madness, but he has to play a certain sort of way. Obviously, defensively, he's got to be bringing in reinforcements, but I need it to be a thing where I'm seeing the players that can improve. Don't think any of the centre-halves, apart from Holding, can improve defensively. Like, if we're still conceding these goals, at least people, and midfielders too, they're following runners, they're closing down the space, they're a bit more alert. It's not the same schoolboy, everybody caught flat-footed, pantomime villain sort of goals that Arsenal like conceding. Do you get it? If these sort of things, because that's what I want to see. Then if we get there, then it's as white and black as saying, yeah, if we can get this and that, we'll improve. So I'd say that as well. I'd say install confidence to these players as well, because some of them, regardless of if I believe they're there or not, or soft or not, confidence is shot. So doing a bit of that Wenger, giving them the confidence to go out there, and whether they win, lose or draw, it's gonna help. They believe that they can help, and they believe they're good. Obviously, I want to see him specifically improve players, and for me, the young attacking players, because I want them very quickly to understand goals and assists, be in areas. Still do your skills and all of these things, but it's about doing it in effective areas. I say young, the likes of Pepe and that, I want to see them improve in that aspect as well, people. Like I said, confidence and whatnot. Obviously, you want to see tactical flexibility, like I've said, when required. Man management, game management, coaching, both of improving individual players, and a philosophy. That's it. What more can I really demand of him, really? That's all I really want to see from Arteta, really and truly. Just real conviction in his ideas. Obviously, reinventing yourself like he will. He's probably got things he wants to do. He's going to try them, and they're not going to work. Things he didn't believe were going to work, and they work. This is why, like Wenger said, it's vital he's surrounded by individuals of more experience, because he will make mistakes. I think he'll be a good manager for us. I hope he is, at least. But he will make mistakes. Think about it logically. If you step into a senior role for the first time, people, in any vocation, whatever your job is, you can do it well, you'll relish it, but you will make mistakes. There's also what you know you don't know, but what you don't know you don't know. And that's more reason for me wanting the experience. Like in an ideal world, Arteta can do his thing. The mistakes are minimised, and we can get away with his mistakes while he still learns, because you learn more from your failures than you do your W's. But we have them. It's a safety net in that the experienced people can say, "Yo, listen, this and that, this ain't gonna work." Because in 1965, I done saw this. You get it? Shout out to my older heads. So that's really what I want to see, man. Beyond the obvious. Really, in terms of getting players out and whatnot, that lands at the feet of the boardroom, because Arteta, even if management's moved away from that, but Arteta, the last thing Arteta should have to really realise, really have to do, is sitting there and saying, does someone want to buy Mesut, does someone want to buy Mustafi, does someone want to buy, because their contracts running out, Lacazette and Aubameyang. The board need to do these things, because Arteta is a head coach. You need to give him players that we can move forward with. It's on the board to improve this spine. Sorry for beating a dead horse, people, but I have to mention that. Alan Smith, Smudger, a former Arsenal player, has said a lot on Arteta. But what I liked, he said they need someone to give them an injection of life, new ideas, modern ideas. The way the game is going now, yes, it's a risk, but a calculated gamble that I think will pay off. I think he carries himself with an authority. I think he's quite ruthless if he wants to be. He's very driven like Guardiola, and Arsenal need that at the moment. And that's what you want to see from Arteta. You want to see the balance of nice and being nice, and then being that positive sinisternism like Klopp has it. Klopp, listen, he looks like everybody's friend. He's everybody's friend and whatnot. But if he really was, and this ain't a bad thing or criticism, if he was everybody's friend and all pally, you know them friends that don't upset anyone, he would be a crap manager. Any manager that can't deal with conflict or is scared to have bad decisions should not be in management. He obviously tells you when you should be involved and whatnot, or when you need to improve and things like that. And Arteta, I believe, will do that. Ironically, being under Pep, you see these things. I want him to weed out the players with poor attitudes that are not down for the cause, and I hope he does that really and truly. He also said, Alan, this time on Arteta, from the outset, I thought that he would be the most exciting, the boldest, as an innovative young coach that can put on really good sessions, and that transfers to the pitch, I think. Hopefully, man. Hopefully. Wenger's had something to say as well, people, if you give me a second. He has said he is intelligent, he has passion. He is intelligent, he has passion, and he has knowledge. I believe Arteta has certainly a great future. He certainly learned a lot as an assistant coach, and after that, he'll have to deal with the fact he has no experience at that level, and he'll have to get surrounded well. So that's 100% facts. Also, to end this, people, Guardiola's had something to say on Arteta, and he said, if he decides to move, I'll wish him all the best for him, his family, and for his professional future. I will beat him. That's a joke. So obviously there's a bit of humour. And moving on from that, whether he thinks there'll be a resolution to his assistant manager's future very soon, he said, yes, I think so. It's going to happen quick. I don't know if it will happen this week, in brackets, people, because I copied and pasted. Tomorrow we travel to Oxford, so I don't know. Now, obviously, like I said at the start, he's obviously at Oxford right now, people. Like you already know, to round up, I think I've mentioned this already, but in case I haven't, Mikel Arteta's lawyers are holding final talks with Arsenal to conclude a deal for him to take the manager's job after Pep Guardiola accepted his assistant's wish to leave. Ornstein allegedly has said, though, Arsenal do hope to make an appointment this week, but even people they've been speaking to in private have been urging a little bit of caution, playing their cards very close to their chest. And you've actually seen, allegedly, I don't know if it's true, because one hand you're hearing that we're prepared to pay City £1 million and it's done, he wants to come, lawyers are doing whatever, so you'd like to think we've moved past this stage. But these reports, and actually just before I made this vid, the reports of the fact that City are still kind of unknown and unhappy with the way we've approached things, and believe that we're kind of more or less jumping the gun a bit in relation to naming him the manager, etc. I don't know if these things are true. I just felt I should mention that because that was one of the last reports I actually saw. That could just be journalists and whatnot just talking was. You know, that's how you get clicks if you go against the grain. Everybody says Arteta's going. You as a journalist says he's not. You're going to look stupid in a year, in a week or whatever when he does. But you're going to get clicks right now and pay your family, pay your bills and put Christmas presents under the tree for your family this festive period. Now, on that note, I've really got nothing more to say, and I'm not really going to talk on Arteta until something really significant happens. And as you can see, I'm tired. It's time for a shower. It's time to eat. More importantly, it's time to go to my bed. On that note, DG, I'm out.